Okay, so hello guys, welcome to midterm. And for the midterm, we will be talking about resumes, application letters, and etc. So for today, I will introduce you on how to write and tips on how to write the proper way on resume. And what's the difference between CV and this resume? So let me share my screen. Okay, let's start with resume. So what do you think is a resume? Is it a summary of your academic works and or work history? So it says here it's not, no? Because ideally, a resume is only short, brief, yet concise. But when we talk about your summary of academics and work history, it will become lengthy when you put that into the paper already, and you call it resume. So it's not working when you put a lot of informations that are not necessary when you apply into a certain job. No? So what is a true depiction of a resume? So basically, it has your personality, a brief background of yourself, your capabilities, or what you can do, what you can offer in the uh, job that you wanted to or the company that you wanted to apply to. Your accomplishments, the accomplishments that are relevant or that you have accomplished with uh, within a certain period of time that is relevant in your application to that certain work, and how organized you are, and the sense of quality. So resume is an advertisement that helps you sell yourself to an employer. So meaning you have to give all the best qualities in yourself and put that into writing, and that will become your resume. So everything that is good to you, or that you think that will benefit you and will get you directly hired in your job. So you can either put that, or you can change the words so that it will be pleasing to the eyes of the employers. So make the first impression about yourself, and then it will help you organize your thoughts when there is already an interview, because the employers usually ask questions based on what you have given to them, and they will ask questions according to what have you written in your resume. Highlights the relevant facts about your education and your experiences. Things that you have forgotten years already, however, you have put that into your resume. So it will give you already a fresh restart of the memories that you have lost already. You know. Positions in your mind, in the mind of the employer, thus creating a value. Be a basis for the interview to justify your hiring. So basically, the main point of the resume is to get you interview and gets you the job. That's the primary purpose of the resume. You hand in your resume so that you will be able to be so the employers will call you, and you will have the interview that you wanted to have. Then after the interview, you will get the job. So that's the process of the employment of some companies. Why give importance to resume? Of course, no? Because The first point of interaction between the employer and you is the moment when you have submitted your resume. Remember, everyone is handling their resume. So, uh, my tip is I want you to give what is different from them. So, I want you to be unique in your own way, so that it will be noticeable by the employers. Usually, a hiring meeting spends not more than 15 to 20 minutes per resume because of some interviews already. A clear and crisp resume will qualify you for the interview. So as I've said, when when you are already in the interview, they have the copy of your resume and will ask some of the questions based on your resume and application letter that you have hand in. And for the midterm, I think, or the last part of the enter, we will be having a virtual interview. So I will be your employer and you will be the one to apply for my company. So we will be having a virtual uh, interview, hand in of resumes and application letters through emails. Then that will be the basis for my questions in the interview questions. So let's see if you will be hired in my company, and that will be your grade and midterm exam probably, or the interim exam or the finals. So what are the essentials of a resume? Usually what we can see in the resume is the objective or the personal statement, the introduction of yourself, what you can do, and personal details like email, address, phone number, then educational status or qualifications from tertiary high school down to elementary. But usually they are not already uh, seeing the primary and the high school. They are only after with your tertiary and postgraduate studies. Professional experience, your work experience, technical qualifications, what you can do, core competencies, what are your attributes, skills, the areas of your expertise, what can you offer in that certain company, what are you good at, achievements, if you are an employee of the year from your previous job, you can add that to your resume. Then references, the people that you are trusted, and because most of the companies are trying to call or reach out those people in the references and ask questions regarding your behavior and what character you have, so they can assess your attitude in work. So that's the reason why there is a references. Now let's go to the tips for writing a great resume. These are not all the tips, but this will help you a lot. No? So write a resume with a target in mind and be appropriate. Customization of resume can increase chance of shortlisting. As I've said, make your own and do not follow other resumes because your achievements are different from theirs. So I want you to be creative, be original, and you might follow templates, but the contents are it's up to you. Analyze the job ads and job descriptions and compose the resume to address the requirements. There are types of resumes that are general that you wanted to hand in whatever job that they might be opening. But there are resumes specific for a certain job, and that's what we are targeting to because we are aftering for the uniqueness and the specifics of your resume. So when you do a resume, do not simply put their general things. So I wanted to be hired in your company as this or any of your vacant positions. But when you look for a job that you are certain to do or you can do it. So so that you can customize your resume and become ideal to the job descriptions that they wanted to to address. Do not shoot the same resume to all jobs. That's what I'm saying. So highlight your strengths also to prove you are better choice than the others because others are still are also trying to get the attention of the employer. So it's a competition of who is the best in terms of that job description. Specific achievements also targets achieved, new accounts added, value additions in previous jobs. You can add that into your resume. Mention the technology skills used in different projects. So if you're the manager or the head of a certain project, you can put that into writings and highlight that as your strength. Keep it short and simple. This is what I'm trying to say, because the moment when you have a resume of 1 to 3 pages, that will become boring already to the employer. If I'm the employer, I will not check into the last part already, but I will check only in the first part of your paper of your resume. So please make it short and simple. Always write a moderate size resume. Use the right font size. Usually the common font size are Times New Roman, Calibre, those are acceptable. Uh, those are common font size and font. For the font size, I think it will be better to use the 12 as the font size. Recruiters are interested in the latest experience, job qualification, so maintain the chronological order. It's very important when you write the highlights. Start from the very recent. Let's say if you got the job or you lasted the job in 2019, so that's the very recent. So you must start in that year down to the very last year that you have started your work. But sometimes if it's very long already, let's say you are of 10 jobs already, just simply pick the better jobs uh, that you have worked in a certain company, the respectable companies. So as long as it's related to the job that you are applying to, or maybe not related that much. However, you did a great job in that previous work. So you may include that in your resume. Ensure correctness. Make sure to mention correct employment dates and designations. The employer can use a background check to validate the information. So please be honest to whatever you are putting in your resume. If you don't have any job position yet because you are a fresh graduate, then tell them that you are fresh graduate. Be honest as possible. Because the moment when you write something in there that you are, for example, you have worked in that certain company, but the moment when the employer was do the background checking and then found out that you are lying in your resume, automatically they will give you zero chances of hired to be hired in the company. So please do not fake your uh, your informations in the resume. Check for grammar. It's very important. It's the employer sometimes check for the perfect grammar perfect writings in the resume. It would be odd when some of the informations are misspelled. No excuses for typing mistakes, grammatical errors, and spelling. All PC have this feature to check. So you have laptops naman or computers to check your grammars and spellings and etc. Use action verbs to demonstrate that you are a person who initiate and proactive. So you use organize, create, analyze, directed, assisted, develop, plan, initiated, manage. That's when you do the highlights of yourself. For example, I manage a certain large number of people in that company, etc. I am the director, or I directed plans in my previous jobs. I have planned in uh, or initiated or created something in the company from my post from my old job. So you can use those verbs. Make the best first impression. Use best quality paper or printer if possible, because what the employers want is the quality of the resume. Wala man na ukot-ukot yatag mo to sa imo employer. That's the reason why the resume is enclosed with envelope to protect the writings there, the ink, the paper, so it will not be crumpled. Good formatting may not get you a job, but bad formatting will definitely reduce your chances. Of course, it doesn't matter, no. However, when you don't do it right, chances are you will not get the job. But what I'm saying is there is a simple way to make a resume, so do it right now. If sending a resume by email, use PDF format if possible. It looks good because there are some computers, when you download the file, the Word, it the uh, when the version of the other computer is not working, so it may changes the 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 format or the font size that you have put in your resume. So it is advisable to do the PDF format so that it will not be uh, edited, or it will not change the format that you have used in your resume. That's when you send an resume by email. So avoid sending photocopy or pre-written resume. That will make you, or that will make bad impressions to yourself. Choose a font style that looks professional. Avoid multiple fonts that is look cluttery and busted. So my advice is use one font only. Do not use multiple font style, so that it will become look it will look classy. So those in effective resume writing. So do not state your expectation out of the job, rather tell what you can contribute. Remember that. What you can offer is better than what you expect in the company. So for example, I am expecting a large amount for compensation in your company by applying it to your company. So do not say that. Rather, you say, uh, I can uh, do, or I can manage a lot of works with pressure. I am willing to be trained. I am professional in this and that. So tell what you can contribute. Do not list names of your supervisors, contact info of your past employments. Be careful with the dates. Make sure every year is accounted for, employers will get suspicious if they see too many gaps. So it's a bad thing sometimes when there is a gap to your work. No? You say you have stopped working 3 years, no? Then you come back to a job after 3 years. That's a bad record in yourself because some of the employers will think that you are lazy enough to, to not getting a job this long, 3 years for resting, just resting. So there must be a reason for that. So employers may get suspicious if they see too many gaps in your years without working. Do not disclose the salary reason for leaving previous employment and your availability to start a new job. Keep them to be discussed in the interview. So do not put that in the resume. Remember, resume is short and concise. There's no room for the salary you have written there. For example, 10,000 last in my last job. So it's a big no-no. So also do not use or do not put the reason of leaving your previous job. I am so stressed with my previous job. You put that in your resume. That's a big no-no. The people in my previous job is uh, I don't like the people in my previous job. For example, that's your reason for leaving previous employment. So do not include that in your resume or even when you have the interview already. You may say in the interview that you have left your job because of, well, you have moved far away from your workplace. It's very hard to travel. Those are counted reasons in in leaving for a job. Do not be wordy while listing job responsibilities. Use bullets and consistent styles. So I suggest that you use bullets or numbers or fragments or a sentence. Do not use a paragraph form. Paste photograph, furnish reference as asked to do so. So do not uh, include references if they do not wanted to, if they did not request references. Because there are some companies who do not care about references. And some are very vigilant. So they wanted to send references. Use simple, plain language. Avoid professional jargons. Okay, please remember your resume is a simple marketing brochure for you. So that will please bear that in mind. So it's a tool for you to sell yourself. I have here a sample simple resume. So in here, we have the name of the applicant. So it's Jane Fastwell, for example. Then she uses a summary as the introduction of what she can do. And what's missing here is a picture. So you may add a picture of yourself or you may not. But I suggest that you will put a decent picture, a professional picture, probably 2x2 uh, in here or some parts in here. So you just move the name here and the address. You may put the address below your name or sometimes above your name. So it doesn't matter. As long as you have written there your contact infos and contact address, that's fine. Then she uses education, no, in her high school diploma. So high school, I think she haven't graduated in college yet. And then extracurricular activity, the highlights of her self in the school. So she is a student council secretary in the She is also in the tennis team. I don't know what job is. I think this is general resume, and then she puts skills to give highlights to what she can do. So this is a very simple resume, yet it's very effective when she finds a general job. For example, in a fast food chain, she can use this resume to have or to land a job in those areas. But when we talk about specific resumes, you can customize that in a way that you are uh, um, you are customizing that into the full potential to get a job in a certain target company. So you can have for many formats in Microsoft Office Word. So let me give you an example. So in your Word or Office Word, you can have a format of resume sample formats that you can edit. For example, here in the search box, you can type resume and automatically it will give you a lot of templates in the resume. So here is a very decent sample of a modern resume. So if you take a look at the sample here, you have a picture, so you can change or edit that into your picture. I suggest that your picture is a steady and a simple smile will do without a thick so that it will become professional. So you can use or edit the profile here with your telling yourself, and then your education only in your tertiary education, your work experiences if there's any, and then skills what you can offer in the job. So contact info. So it's a very simple resume. Now, if you ask me what is the difference between CV and a resume, so it's very simple. CV is very lengthy because it's the summary of all your work experiences and academic achievements. So everything that you have put in in that paper that will become your CV or curriculum vitae. Take note, CV will have pages with 1 to 3 pages, as much of 1 to 3 pages. But in resume, you can only have one because in resume, it's very brief and concise. But in CV, it is specific and lengthy because all the details from your academic and skills and previous job is found in the CV. Some of the companies request CV other than resume, so they are fond of checking all the lengthy parts of yourself. But in some companies, they rather have to look in the specifics or uh, concise and precise objective type of information. So they wanted to have your resume. It depends on the company whether they wanted your CV or resume. And along with the resume is the application letter. So in the next video, we will be talking about application letters, how to be hired in a certain company, and how to write an effective uh, application letter. So for the activity in the LMS, I want you to create your own resume by getting samples in or format samples in the Microsoft Word. So you just simply edit the format. So you try to use this format here and change this to your picture and your name. Please take note that this activity or this resume will be used in the end term probably for your job interview. mock job interview. So if I were you, just be serious in putting your your informations here. So for the work experiences, if you have, then put. But if you are a fresh grad, just simply write you are a fresh graduate, and your school activities, just simply write your academic involvement. So that's how fresh graduates would write to their resumes if they have no work experiences. But if you have, or you have worked already in part-time, you have part-time works, you can include that already in your resume. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something today.